Hi guys, this is a GCSE video and it's about coastal erosion and a little bit on the start of management. So I'm going to go through an 8-mark question which is in the textbook. And I know some of you have been having a little bit of problem with it, so I'm going to go over it. I'm going to show you a board now and you can always pause this video and maybe take a screenshot. I'll also post this on the Insta account so you can see it. So as you can see, here is the picture with the writing on, and I'm going to go over some of these points. So the question is, assess the risks from erosion of future sea level rise to people and property. So assess always means weigh up, doesn't it? So it's saying weigh up the risks from erosion of future sea level rise to people and property. So, it's my dog barking. We're going to go over some of the risks, what they are, and we're going to go over some of how you can reduce the risks as well, because we need to weigh up what the risks are. So it's nice and straightforward. The risks are, first of all, rising sea level can cause more power for the waves, and therefore we can have cliffs that erode. Now if the cliffs erode, we will lose housing, we will lose land, we'll lose farmland, we will lose some infrastructure, we'll lose some roads, etc. So all of that from my pound signs means that it will be a cost to property, and it will also be a cost to people, because people will lose their livelihoods, they'll lose their houses, they won't be able to sell their houses, etc. So there'll be a huge risk to people and property as well. So that's the first one. Next is that beaches can be eroded. So higher sea levels will erode beaches, and we know that beaches are a form of defence for the coastline. The waves will hit the beach and they will take the power out of the waves, and it will stop the waves overtopping and get into the land. So the first form of protection is a beach. Okay, so if sea levels rise, then those beaches will be eroded. So that means that the waves can get to the land. And if that happens, again, what can happen? Houses can be flooded, businesses can be flooded, a town could be flooded, etc. So a lot of businesses could be flooded, roads and infrastructure could be flooded, etc. And that will also cost a lot of money. So it will destroy a lot of property, not from cliff fall, but from flooding. And it will cause people to lose money. It will cause them to lose their homes. It will cause them to lose their jobs, perhaps, as well. So they are the risks of erosion from future sea level rises. Now, we can reduce the risks, because the question does say assess. So there are a couple of things that we can do, but they're not ideal. First of all, we can build higher defences. So that is a possibility, that we build higher defences to stop the beaches being taken out, or to stop the higher water eroding cliffs. But this costs money and it can't be done everywhere. So if we're going to weigh it up, we could say that it can be done in maybe big cities, but it can't be done in smaller towns. So smaller towns will always suffer. People and property will also always suffer in smaller towns, not bigger places. And the second thing we can do is we could abandon those places and leave them for the sea to inundate, and leave it for nature to take its course, essentially. But again, that means loss of property and loss of housing and loss of maybe businesses and farmland, etc. And again, that costs money. So this again can only happen where the value of the land is very low. So a lot of this is dependent on land value. Where the land value is high, then we can reduce the risk by doing this, building high defences. Where the land value is very low, then we can't, and we might end up abandoning it. So assessing the risks means there are risks from sea level rising here, but this is what we can do to reduce the risks. There are some problems with this, but we can do it, but not in every place. So I'm hoping that helps with that question.